There's a lot of controversy in the comedy world. And there's people bouncing back and forth, both sides of this issue. It's the comics that have been hired by Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is trying to really fit in and get a lot of this Western type entertainment, sports. I hear tell WWE is doing a WrestleMania in Saudi. The golf thing, of course, was a big thing. Will American golfers play on this Saudi Arabian tour? And that got a bunch of people divided. And now it's comedians. A bunch of American comedians are going over to Saudi Arabia to perform. And I think it's unbelievably hypocritical. Hey, I'm not going to stand in anyone's way of making a living. You know, who am I to step on anyone's toes when it comes to earning a dime? But you have to look at the hypocrisy and go, all right, it doesn't come without a scarlet letter going on you. You know, pocket the cash, spend it, enjoy yourself. But you'll have a little of that stink on you for performing for these savages, people that you profess to not like, not respect, not want to work with. And then when enough money is waved in front of your faces, all your virtue signaling goes out the window, down the old turlet, and you're performing in Saudi Arabia. And Bill Burr is on the ticket there. He's there. Let's see. What do we have here? Yeah, it's Bill Burr. Pop that post up, Sean, that I sent in. Here it is. So here's what's going on. And this is according to comedian Tim Dillon, who was booked to perform at the comedy festival in Riyadh. Riyadh? I remember I used to say this during the Gulf War. Riyadh. Comedy Festival in late 2025. American comics were offered between, this is from him, he has knowledge of this, between $375,000 and $1.6 million for their appearances. Each. Anywhere between $375,000 to $1.6 million for their appearances. I have to imagine Bill Burr, Louis C.K., Dave Chappelle, who are all on this bill. Hi, this is Anthony Cumia.
And hello, I am Gavin McInnes.
Together, we're Compound Censored.
And we'd like you to subscribe to our network that has more fantastic content you could shake a stick at. Use this promo code for a one-time super offer.
Do it. It's uncensored and oh so entertaining. They're at the 1.6 million, 1.5 million mark. I think there's other people that might bring in a few 100,000, but they're up there. And then I did a little research here. The Global Slavery Index says that 10 countries with the highest prevalence of modern day slavery today, this second. North Korea. Could you make that a little bigger for me there, Sean? It's hard to read. The letters get a little. Eritrea. Mauritania. Saudi Arabia is right in there. These are the 10 countries in the world with the highest prevalence of modern day slavery. Not the only countries. There are plenty of countries still practicing modern day slavery. These are your top 10. The highest prevalence of modern day slavery. Turkey, it's spelled like a weird version of Turkey. Tajikistan, United Arab Emirates, Russia, Afghanistan, and Kuwait. But Saudi Arabia, very prevalent right there in the top 10 countries, highest prevalence of modern day slavery. And there's stories here from 2023. There are plenty of stories about modern day slavery in these Arab nations. Most of these people are taken from sub-Saharan Africa and brought up, and they are slaves. This is no different. They don't get paid. They're horrible conditions, and they are forced to work for the Saudi government, the rich sheiks and sheikhs and what have you over there in Saudi. So when, the likes of a Bill Burr call me racist for my viewpoints of race relations and racial problems here in the United States of America, because of course his black wife wouldn't have it any other way. And then he takes money to make a nation, some people in a nation that is practicing slavery right now. He took that money and has agreed to this and will do it. It seems a little hypocritical. Hey, take the money. $1.5 million? That's a large chunk of change. I can't rightly say I wouldn't do it, but I'm not a virtue signaling asshole. I have no platform that I get up on and accuse people of being racist, unless, of course, they're black people that are being racist, because we see that a lot. I don't claim that they're victims of society and systemically racist America, and then go over there and entertain people that are literally performing slavery. And, I'm voicing my opinions. I don't have any slaves here, I swear. South Carolina, I got a lot of property. Just had the lawn guys here cutting the lawn outside. Had to pay them. Wished I didn't have to. Wish I had a big house and lawn in Saudi Arabia. I could just get me some slaves and have them do my yard work and not even have to pay. But I don't have slaves. Yet, I got thrown out of the Comedy Cellar in New York City by the likes of Bill Burr and his henchmen, his fucking henchmen. That's what happens. Club Soda Kenny coming over. Leave, go. Because what? He's uncomfortable having me in the same venue because I'm such a racist? Interesting. And then you take $1.5 million from people that have slaves. The hypocrisy knows no bounds. And this is, try to find the graphic with all the photos of all the comics that are going to be there, Sean, because I want you to put that up there, and we'll go through a couple of them. And I've been reading the comments, because I posted about this. A lot of people have posted about it. In the comments, some of it's like, what's the difference between our own politicians doing business with Saudi Arabia and them going over and getting money? Well, we all know politicians are pieces of shit and scumbags. There's a global economy. If they want to buy weapons from the United States of America, America will sell them weapons. They'll also sell Israel weapons. They'll sell weapons to any motherfucker that asks for them and can afford it in the United States. Yeah, just leave that up there. There's a big difference, though. We know what the politicians are all about. And it's a deal. They money for weapons, whatever they're selling to the Saudis. They're not these virtue signaling, holier than thou, cancel culture motherfuckers that go up on stage and oh, how about those white people? White people complaining. That's what you're getting here. It's the hypocrisy, not the money. I get the money. That's the most understandable part of this. 1.5 mil? Yup. I'm in. But now you've bought and sold your ability to talk about anything that virtue signals. You cannot talk to me like I'm some horrible racist and have me removed from a comedy club because of my opinions and what I say and what you feel about that. You've given that up by accepting that blood money, that slave money. And let's go. Let's look who's on here. Blow that up a little bit there, Sean. All right. Who do we got? Yeah, without names, it's a little rough. But, oh no, I'm going to Saudi Arabia. Dave Chappelle, obviously. What's his name? SNL.
Pete Davidson.
Pete Davidson. Pete fucking Davidson. Look, this is insane. I mean, we all know Pete's history, don't we? His father was a New York City fireman. On 9/11, he was killed in one of the towers that came down. Now, we're not going to argue or debate who's and what's of 9/11 right here. But the official story is they were all Saudi nationals. They were all Saudi nationals flying those fucking planes into the buildings and killing a shitload of people, including police, firemen, and his father. And this motherfucker is going over there? Does that seem right? Morally? Does that seem fucking right? Chappelle, I don't know. He's black. I think he gets a pass. He has the same feelings towards, white people as the Saudis do. Who else is that? Who's on that top row there?
Mark Normand.
Mark Normand. Hey, I'm going over to Saudi Arabia. We're going to see some Arabs. Oh, no. What did they do? Hey, you guys bombed the buildings or something. Whoa. So Mark Normand's going over there. Who's the black guy,
I don't know.
To the right?
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Who's that guy? The next guy. He's that Italian guy.
Yeah, Di Stefano, maybe?
Yeah. That's the guy.
Aziz
and then
Ansari.
the Indian guy. Yeah, he got in trouble a while back. He was out on some date with some girl, and he took her home and pulled his cock out and then shoved 2 fingers down her throat and took the slime from the back of her throat and was going to use it for lube to fuck her with. I swear that was a story. I don't know. Don't ask me. I wasn't there, but that's the story. That guy, Brendan Schaub. Is that Brendan Schwab?
Andrew Schultz.
Oh, Andrew Schultz, the other one. Louis C.K. Louis could be quite the virtue signaling guy, too. I find Louis hilariously funny. I had a great relationship with Louis. Professional, not personal. I'm not going to be like Opie. I thought we were friends. No, none of these people are friends. They are business associates for a period of time. You're friendly with them. There's a difference between being friendly and being friends. I've gone out with them. I've hung out. We've talked and laughed. But it's not a friendship. And Louis was very fun to do the show with. But he too has this weird virtue signaling thing that he does. Who's the black guy in the middle?
I don't know that one.
You know him? Oh, and then Asshole, the next black guy.
Kevin
Isn't that
Hart.
the little guy that
Yeah,
does
Kevin
all the
Hart.
movies with The Rock? Yeah. Oh my God. He's another one. All right, that guy. Now we're kind of getting into the $375,000 range of comics. the fat guy, the fat Mexican guy, a woman. A woman? There's a couple of women doing this. Preposterous. How the fuck would a woman go over there? Because they have to cover themselves up. They will have to get on stage to perform in front of men. I'm sure women can't go to this. And wear their head covered. Another Mexican guy. Oh no, that guy. He's the dirty, or the other guy. I don't know. Bill Burr, of course. I don't know. Oh, that guy. The Italian guy does the Dice impression. What?
Maniscalco, Sebastian Maniscalco.
Yeah, Maniscalco. Hey, we're here. Aren't you the guys that kind of screwed up the whole Trade Center? Didn't you do that? You're the guys that screwed up the Trade Center? Oh, God. And then what's her name?
Whitney Cummings.
Whitney Cummings.
And that's the end of the line
Whitney
for me.
Cummings.
I don't know who the other two are.
And then, yeah, some Indian woman. And that guy. They're definitely in the couple of $100,000 range. Riyadh Comedy Festival. Oh, it's already going on? I guess. Till October 9th? The 26th of September to the 9th of October? Oh, boy. Oh, and then those guys there, the fucking Chinese guy and the redhead guy, Korean guy, whatever. Well, how about you go fuck off? How about all those comics go fuck off with their bullshit? Take the money. Take the money, go, and then when you come back, you could shut your fucking mouth about everything, about all the nonsense. Your little quips about MAGA and Trump and white people and capitalism and fucking law enforcement and all that. You could just shut the fuck up now. We shouldn't have to hear a word out of your mouth. Just take your bands, your stacks, your bands, wave them in your face and go, yeah, I made bank over there. Yeah. Now you can shut up. No one wants to hear what you have to say about, your impression of what America should be. You go over there. Saudi. All right. Good for you. David Cross called out these comics. David Cross, of course, comic, Mr. Show, which was very funny. I think with the rise of Better Call Saul and things like that, more people have been watching Mr. Show, and it's hilarious. So funny. But David Cross slams Bill Burr and more comedians performing at the Riyadh Comedy Festival. I am disgusted. How can any of us take you seriously again? Yeah, good take on that. Let's see what he had to say. Scroll down, blow it up so I could read that motherfucker. Comedian David Cross released a fiery statement on his website Monday condemning the comedians who agreed to perform at Saudi Arabia's Riyadh Comedy Festival. I am disgusted and deeply disappointed in the whole gross thing, Cross wrote, that people I admire with unarguable talent would condone this totalitarian fiefdom for what? A fourth house, a boat, more sneakers? Well, he continued, we can never again take seriously anything these comedians complain about unless it's complaining that we don't support enough torture, mass execution of journalists, and LGBT peace activists here in the States, or that we don't terrorize enough Americans by flying planes into our buildings. That's great. This is good stuff. And David Cross is a liberal guy. Very liberal. He used to be friends with Gavin McInnes. He pretty much disavows Gavin at this point. But, you know, you can't say he doesn't stick to his guns. He's calling these motherfuckers out. Cross went on to call out specific names from the lineup, including comedy giants Dave Chappelle, Louis C.K., and Bill Burr. Clearly, you guys don't give a shit about what the rest of us think. How can you, but how can any of us take any of you seriously ever again? Cross added, all of your bitching about cancel culture and freedom of speech and all that shit, done. You don't get to talk about it ever again. By now, we've all seen the contracts you have signed. Yeah, this is, I mean, I was saying this moments ago. They've sold their soul. They've sold their ability to talk about shit. They could do it. They come back. It's America. You can do it. But you've sold your ability to talk about this and have people listen to you, respond positively. You're fucking hypocrites now. And everything you say is to be looked at through the lens of taking millions of dollars from slave owners. Not slave owners from 200 years ago, slave owners from 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern time on this very day. I put that back up there. Let's see. Mr. Showstar isn't the first comedian to take issue with the Riyadh Comedy Festival. Mark Maron recently took to his WTF podcast to slam those participating in the event. I mean, how do you even promote that? From the folks that brought you 9/11, 2 weeks of laughter in the desert, don't miss it. I mean, the same guy that's going to pay them is the guy that paid the guy to bone saw Jamal Khashoggi's Khashoggi and put him in a fucking suitcase. I normally don't find Mark Maron funny, but that's conjures up quite the image. But don't let that stop the yucks. It's going to be a good time. Shane Gillis also disavowed the festival, saying on his secret podcast that he turned down an invitation and a significant bag for an appearance fee. He said, I took a principled stand. You don't 9/11 your friends. Yeah, I'm certain Shane Gillis was one of the 1.5 mil, at least 1 mil, but he was probably right up there with Burr and Louis C.K. in the 1.5 million category. Other U.S. comedians set to appear at Riyadh Comedy Festival include Kevin Hart, Pete Davidson, Russell Peters, Gabriel Iglesias, Wayne Brady, Jeff Ross, Tom Segura, and Hannibal Buress. Jeff Ross? You can't get a more Jew comic than Jeff Ross. Jeff Ross is unbelievably Jewish. And he's going to perform in Saudi? Amazing. And the Pete Davidson thing, I'm still stunned by that. I'm still stunned by that. Are they going to have a moment of silence for the hijackers? Huh? Is that going to happen? Yeah. Pete Davidson making his way to the stage. Everybody, let's a moment of silence for the hijackers, the Saudi hijackers of the aircraft that crashed into the Trade Center, the Pentagon, and a field in Pennsylvania. Can we do that? Thank you. And now Pete Davidson with his hilarious comedy stylings. Coming up, Pete. Your dad must be proud of you. Oh, I mean, would be proud of you if a plane being steered by a Saudi terrorist hadn't murdered him. But, you know, here's some cash. You could buy a lot of Kleenex to wipe those tears there, Pete Davidson. Oh, it is disgusting. Was there any more to that article?
That was it.
That was it? Yeah. Have fun. Have fun over there. Saudi Arabia. Unbelievable. It's the hypocrisy. I mean, I've said it 1,000 times already. It's the hypocrisy. Because I know there are people who go, oh, yeah, you wouldn't take it. I probably wouldn't. $1.5 million, I probably wouldn't take it. It's not being offered to me. So I cannot give a definitive answer. But just thinking about it, and quite frankly, I just don't want to travel that far. Maybe, especially to go to a place like Saudi Arabia. Maybe if it was, somewhere nice in England, not London, somewhere in Ireland where I could go into an Irish pub and throw some darts and drink Guinness. And I would do something and make, it wouldn't even have to be $1.5 million. I would do that in a second. $200,000, pay for the travel. Yeah, I'm doing that. But Saudi Arabia? Yeah. No thanks. And I'm a piece of shit. I'm a piece of shit. I should do something like that. I'm not as amazing and virtuous and kind as these comics, as they portray themselves through their self-congratulatory virtue signaling up on stage. Bill Burka, they're calling him. It's hilarious. Bill Burka. Yeah. Well, good luck. Enjoy your money. Enjoy your blood money. Hand the piles of cash. Bill, hand the pile of cash over to your wife when you get back and go, yeah, honey. Yeah, they got slaves, but look at the money. And hand it over to your wife, Nia, your black wife, Nia, that you performed for slave owners because it's a shitload of money. Shitload of money. Assholes. So if you enjoyed that clip,
then subscribe to Compound Censored using this promo code.